Hey guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and yes, I am in a different locale. I am actually in Santee, California at Gillespie Field. So I'm hanging out with all the aviation stuff today, so all kinds of airplanes and helicopters and jets and stuff, and they're actually taking off about less than 100 yards in that direction, actually probably about 50 yards. So sometimes, I kind of like just hanging out here and just watching things take flight and land. And also, there's a whole lot of different types of birds and stuff here, and actually a lot of hawks and a lot of bunnies. But anyway, I have a kind of a unique video for you guys, and you're going to need a tarot or oracle deck, whichever one you connect with best. The one that I have in here, which no, this is not Knott's Berry Farm cobbler mix, but I keep it in this bag, and this is my Oracle of Oddities, the first, second, and third editions. So it's kind of one giant deck here. I just really like this bag, and the cobbler was delicious, by the way. My dude and I made it during quarantine. But here are the backs, and all the backs were the same so that you could put all of the editions together and just make it like one Mondo deck, just like this. But I want to show you something that I do also with my cards. So when I do readings, I don't always just do readings for people or animals or trying to get a feel for a particular place, like the energy of a place, or plants. Sometimes I do readings for my roses. If I see like, I've been giving them water, or I give them their like rose treatment, and it seems like they need something else. I'll sometimes do a reading to see like what else do they need, as well as like energetically connecting to my plants. So I want to show you that you can also tap into the energy of something that is not alive. Many of you do this with houses, like you try to tap into the energy of a house, but did you know you could tap into the energy of a car? For me, I do believe that anything that was created by a living thing, whether it was created by the earth herself, because she's a living thing, or it was created by animals, just as byproducts, stuff like that, or it was created by human beings, because all of living, all sentient and living energies on this planet are made of just that. They're made of energy. So anything that we touch or create is made with that energy, and that energy is imbued in it, in my personal opinion. So, although yes, like you see here, these are just, you'd say vehicles, they're made of metal or aluminum or carbon fiber and, bits and pieces, oil and gasoline and all of that. But there was intention that was put into it. There was care that was put into these vehicles, and I know that there's care that's being given to them now, because we love these vehicles. They are our transportation, and things like that. So try using your deck of cards to have a conversation with the things that you utilize every day. Many of you need transportation to get from A to B. So maybe have a conversation with your transportation. Maybe have a conversation with the things that you use regularly in the kitchen, if you're constantly in the kitchen. But I think that, we don't want to be maybe so limited with doing our readings with only things that we deem alive. For me, I don't know, maybe I just see the world as a really magical place, but I just see life in everything, from things that technically don't have a heartbeat to things that do. So I'm gonna do a little reading right now. All I do is just pick a few cards, and it's basically I'm having like a conversation with my vehicle. And usually most of the time it's just a how are you doing today? And well, this is Viper Bee here. If you guys haven't met Viper Bee, this was a car that I saved up for a long time, working really hard to buy my dream car. And it kind of has a little bit more significance to that than just like buying a fancy car or dream car. Like there's a huge backstory, and yeah, we won't get into that. But anyway, so I would say like, how are you feeling today? And sometimes Viper Bee will basically in the cards say like, I'm sad because you haven't run me in a while, and basically my fluids are becoming stagnant. So I'm like, okay, so the car needs to run, because it's not a car that I use every day. It's like just once a week on the weekends. And so, or you can, ask it a question. Actually, for the longest time, it was jealous of a different car. It would say like all these mean things, but now that they have to sit in this garage, this airplane hangar forever, then it's seemed to have become friends, which I think is so interesting, because you're like, they're just cars. And for me, I think everything has energy in it. So it's like, wow, it's interesting that my car was jealous of a different car, but now they're friends. So anyway, so let's do a little reading. And I'm just gonna ask a Viper Bee, how are you right now? How are you feeling today, Viper Bee? How are you feeling? Oh, we have the kidneys toxic. And that's probably because Viper Bee hasn't moved. We didn't take her out last weekend, so this will be week 2, and we are taking her out as soon as the dude comes back from his job today. And we're going straight up. We're just gonna like go for a nice drive, on today's Memorial Day. And so yeah, I kind of understand that. And with the kidneys, I would kind of see that as kind of in the fluids area, probably like more of the gasoline area, where like you really don't want gasoline to sit for extended periods of time, because actually gasoline does have an expiration date. So if you buy a used car and it's a car that's been like sitting for years, you actually do have to drain it of its gas and put in new gasoline, because the sediment and stuff that hits just kind of stays there at the bottom. If you actually run that through the system, you'll destroy the car. So just a little FYI, because you know me, I love cars. So okay, so Viper Bee feeling a little toxic. What can we do to help you out? What can I do to help you, Viper Bee? What can I do to help you? Creation. So it's like, well, let's go do something. Let's go, like, see all these flowers. Let's go explore the countryside. Well, we don't really have a countryside, but let's go out east, into the desert, and, just go on an adventure. Let's create something together. So that's usually what Viper Bee is always telling me, is that I'm unhappy because I've been sitting here and I really want to go on an adventure with you. I have also asked Viper Bee to show me, and I'll ask this again. Show me what your spirit looks like. What does your energy look like, Viper Bee? What does your energy look like? And it's like a lot of cards want to come out. Ooh. Transformation. And I tend to get this actually a lot with this card. Or this car. It's like almost like the death card, but Viper Bee has helped me through. I know you guys are like, it's just a car. But hear me out. I'm somebody who, I do suffer from, I have bouts of anxiety. I have had real panic attacks, a few times in my life. Would prefer not to have a panic attack ever again. They're no fun. I do sometimes get, really down, and sometimes I'm really critical of myself. And actually, this car, which, by the way, if you know anything about vipers, they have this scary reputation of always trying to kill its owner, kind of like the death card, because it has so much power, it's so raw, and it has a lot of the nanny controls taken off of it. So basically, you are in total control of that vehicle. You decide how fast you want to take it, and it's not going to keep you on the road. If you don't have control of it, it's gonna spin out, or you're gonna fly off the side of a cliff, which I've seen like a YouTube video of, and that's like pretty scary. So it's basically like a wild bronco, and and if you don't have respect for it, it will kill you. It's got over 600 horsepower here. It goes over 200 miles an hour. And it's got a lot of torque. It was made for speed, and it was made for handling, and and things like that. And so for me, somebody who, you know, I tend to be very cautious about things, and I tend to, even though like I had always wanted a Viper, you know, by the time I finally got behind the wheel, you know, of my own Viper, and just like the thought of like, oh my gosh, like all of this power and all of this responsibility basically is at my fingertips and right underneath my foot, you know, was actually a little scary at first. And I'm somebody who, you know, I take on so much responsibility during my day-to-day, and I would have like little bitty anxiety attacks just driving my car. And we weren't even driving fast, we were going like 35, you know, in the residential areas, just kind of like practicing getting to know it. And there was this energy that came in, like at any time I get in the car, and I feel like I take on the colors of Viper Bee, yellow and black. You know, I feel like an actual bumblebee. And it was like this very calming of like, you know, I'm going to protect you. And the more you learn to trust yourself, the more confident you will become, and the more powerful a human being you'll be. So it's like, yes, I'm a powerful car, but I'm trying to show you the power within yourself. So yes, when I say it's more than just a car to me, it's actually helped me through so much. My anxiety is much less now. I haven't had a panic attack in quite some time. I have actually a lot more confidence, and it's translated into other areas of my life, you know, going and taking risks and things like that. So yes, when I ask what the energy of Viper Bee is and we get transformation, it makes total sense, because this car is about transforming people. And maybe it's a transformer, I don't know. It's more than meets the eye. But yeah, I want you guys to try this out, you know, have a conversation with your vehicle. You know, we tend to take these mechanical things that help us to live our lives for granted. And then it's like when anything or any one of these things break, then it's like, oh, my world falls apart. But maybe we didn't really have an actual conversation with it. Treat it like a person instead of just a thing that we use and abuse, you know? So Viper Bee, what do you think about everything I've been saying? It says, you see what I'm saying? This is the vision card. It's got an eyeball up there. So you got the vision, girl. You understand. I do. I love you. Anyway, so yeah, let me know if you guys try this out. Have a little conversation with your vehicle. You don't have to have a fancy car like mine, but you know, some of you told me you do have some fancy cars, so you know, maybe have a conversation with your fancy car, or just have a conversation with your everyday car. Or if you take public transportation, why don't you have a conversation, sit down and think about the bus that you start your day on, and have a conversation with it, instead of like, oh, this stupid bus is late again. Maybe have a conversation with that bus. Who knows, that bus might be on time a little bit more if you had a little bit more respect for it. Anyway, yeah, so let me know if you try this. Put that comment down below. I would love to hear what conversation you guys had with your vehicles. Yeah, and I'm hoping that you guys have an awesome sauce rest of your day. Have fun with those cars. They don't just take you from point A to point B, they transform you, and they transform your outlook through their windshields. So anyway, if you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. I have a lot of different types of readings. I have bracelets that I make, room and body sprays, my salves, and new to my shop, my Travel Witch altar pendants, so that you can keep your altar, your practice close to your heart, or even closer if you are not wanting to share your practice with everybody else. I also have ancestral pendants as well, where I will put the name of a person that you would like to dedicate your altar to within a little scroll, and also encompassed with herbs and salts and things like that. Everything that you would use on your altar anyway. Yeah, so if you are interested in those, please check them out in my shop. A lot of people have given me some great feedback about them, so I'm glad people are loving those. And Don't forget to check out my Wally's World Oracle, which was community created and community funded. This is healing from all over the world, so definitely check it out. And if you want to throw a little love my way, think about joining the KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittens, weights, and tarot. All right, that's it for me, you spiritual homies. I will catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Vroom, vroom.